wait. Okay, we're live. I'm going to wait for it to spin up over here so I can mute it. Wait. Okay, we're live. I'm going to wait for it to spin up over here. Okay, now it's muted. And I can see
I'm muted too.
I see we have a few people in the chat. I'd like to say hi to Drone Effects with Claude. I'd like to say hello to Kevin Fortner. I'd like to say hello to Idaho Quadcopter. Howdy, howdy, howdy. This is Drone Therapy Season 2, Episode 15, To Fly or Not to Fly. As some of you might know, we were off last week as I was out of town on vacation celebrating my wedding anniversary with my wife and my daughter. We went to Hawaii. So we were over there for a little while. That's why only a few people kind of knew what was going on. Only a few people got to see updates and stuff. Had an absolute blast. We're going to build a plantation out there, and we're going to take all these drone pilots out there. How about that? We're going to create a drone paradise. What was that, Ron?
I'm with you.
Hey, that sounds great. Something else I'd like to say. I had mentioned to my friends over at North Sound Physical Therapy in Lake Stevens, Washington. I wanted to mention to you that they do some great work. They've been working on my shoulder. I've kind of had some crazy stuff going on with nerves and well, we're still trying to figure it out, but they've been really cool to me. They've actually helped hook me up with some fellow drone pilots here in the area and community. And so if you ever get a chance and you need some physical therapy done, go to North Sound Physical Therapy, ask for Tony, and tell him I sent you. And with all that being said, my crazy run at the mouth, I will pass it to my co-hosts and let them introduce themselves. Mr. Bill.
Hey, Mr. Bill, welcome back from paradise. I'm not sure why you left. Well, no, I know why you left because you didn't have enough money, but to stay. But I would have stayed. But I'm looking forward to tonight. One of these things we talked about last night, and I kind of want to continue again, is this whole thing with torts and drones and just talking about, regulations and so forth. And I got a lot of good discussion on that last night. So that's something that I think is kind of a topic of interest to everybody, no matter what kind of drone you fly, whether it's DJI or unbranded drone or, toy drone, doesn't matter. It affects all of us. So I think we'll spend some time talking about that tonight. And I'm excited to announce that probably sometime after we're done tonight, my first video on the Phantom 4 Pro V2.0 is coming out. And with that, I'll pass it on to Mr. Ron Brown.
Hello. Thank you for that great introduction, Bill. Yes, this is Ron Brown from Ron Brown's YouTube channel and RC World on Facebook. And I want to congratulate my good friend Bill Thomas on his 5th year wedding anniversary. I know he had a great time with his wife and family in the beautiful island of Hawaii. And I also want to congratulate my good friend Bill H on his 1-week anniversary with the Phantom 4 V.2 or whatever. I'm sure that'll be a happy marriage also. So tonight, I have a big announcement. I just received a drone in for review this week from a guy you may know, a former guest on the show, Brian Singleton of True Drone Reviews. He sent me a high-performance drone. It even comes with a magic wand to fly with. And it's gold. I bet you not too many people have a gold drone. And just to give it a little teaser here it is. It's got foldable props. They're unfolded now. Foldable landing legs. This has a lot of features like altitude hold and gyro control. This is rivals the Mavic 2 really as far as features and performance. So we're going to get into it later on in the show here. And thanks for saying. I haven't got a chance to test fly with. Been a couple of busy the past couple of days, but I have done an unboxing video that you guys won't want to miss. It's a killer unboxing. So, I'm sure we have a lot of good topics to talk about tonight. I want to get into Bill with some of these new drone flying regulations, especially the one where when you're in, airspace, you cannot just call in advance. You have to set up a thing to fly in a restricted zone ahead of time. But I'm going to throw it back to my friend Bill Thomas and let him get into the meat of this show tonight.
All right, and thank you very much with that, Mr. Ron Brown and Mr. Bill, the drone reviewer. Grateful as always to have you here with us. And some things I just wanted to kind of go over. It was very, very fantastic, and I had a blast when he came on a few weeks ago. If you haven't had a chance, please go back and check out the episode where Mr. Ready Set Drone himself, Kelly Shores, was on here. And we had mentioned to him that we would try to bring up every week, not for our viewers to forget, and to please spread the word that there has already been a date set for Spin Up 2019. What was it, guys?
October 19th.
October 19th. So please, if you haven't already, keep getting in, keep your correspondence going with Kelly. Keep showing him your interest. Please tell your friends. I don't know who all he's going to have speaking this year, but I'm sure he's going to have a stellar, group of guys coming, major people in the drone field. Maybe even some people that were there last year are going to be coming back. And as always, he goes above and beyond trying to get deals for everybody there locally around where he's holding the event at. He goes, well, hey, you all saw the event wasn't that big last year, but he went on and put some big productions. I'm sure he probably bid a big one to put on a pretty good event last year for all the people that were there. Because every time I've talked to him and everything, he's just as nice and as sweet and as kind as he comes off on camera. So yeah. So let's try to help him out this year. Let's try to get the word out for that, and just keep that date in your head. Try to remind your friends. Try to figure out and plan a little bit ahead. Maybe everybody can all get together and hook up out there. Also wanted to give some shout outs tonight as we got Mel Koch. He runs his 400 AGL, and his partner Lloyd. They always kind of do their shows on Wednesday night too. I know that Ken Dono is celebrating an anniversary. Want to say congratulations to Ken and his missus. And Billy Kyle, they've also started a new show they're doing on Wednesday nights, same time as we are. So if you get bored with us, go check them out. If you get bored with them, come back over here. Bounce back and forth. Have a good time. I also want to give a shout out to Ryan Duvall, John Coopy. They've done some stuff behind the scenes helping me out. And, of course, my big buddy down there in Florida, Mr. Dan Drone Worship himself. Maybe he'll be back with us here in a few weeks, too, and we'll see what's going on there. I also wanted to talk about Skylum's new software coming out. What do we figure? About 6 hours from now. It has got an artificial intelligent engine built into the software that is specially designed to recognize drone photography and kind of put its whammy on it, I guess you'd say, and really make some stellar stuff kind of automatically. And then as you learn the software better, you can go into the manual modes and manipulate as much as and have the quality of a Lightroom or an Adobe product at a lot less price. But also, if you already love Adobe and stuff, there's plugins for all those so that you can add Skylum's Luminar, you can add Aurora, and you can add the new Air Magic. Ron, didn't they give us a taste of Air Magic? Was that not in Aurora that they gave us a taste of Air Magic?
I'm not sure if it was Aurora or if it was Luminar 3, where you got a free set of drone LUTs that you could use. Like if you pre-ordered early or whatever, you got a package of LUTs you could use that was specifically designed to for drone shots. So yeah. I guess you could say that was a little taste. And the beauty, you explained it well, the Skyview software, but just to reiterate, if you're the type of person who's never ever played with video editing software before, you could take all your drone photos, just throw it in Skyview, and it will automatically make all your your drones better. So drone shots better. So again, you don't have to be a Photoshop professional to use this.
Somebody got a new arrival. Somebody got a new birth. Mikey got a new arrival. Read it.
Just got in a while. My gloves are going. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. It's in. I knew it was coming. And Perth West OZRC also has the Moby 7.
Roger's in the house. Roland's in the house. Nemo's in the house. We got a party going on, folks. Glad to have everybody here. Glad that you're checking everything out. Like I said, we were just kind of talking about the subject for Air Magic that was kind of built around the forum. It was special. The engine in the software was made to kind of do good for drone photography. And it's not going to matter what kind of drone photography it is. You could even do, you know, you got footage coming out of a Hero on top of a race drone. It's going to be able to pull phenomenal shots and manipulate those too just as well. So
Bill, can I ask a question to the chat room? Bill, you know, Thomas and I both have pre-ordered, so we'll be getting it soon. Has anybody in the chat room heard of Skyview? And if so, has anybody else placed the pre-order? And we'll wait for your responses and move on. Back to Bill Thomas. I just wanted to kind of survey the chat room there on this.
Well, I just want to, that's like I said, I was wanting to bring, please check out everybody's channel that's in the room. I feel, Roger, thank you so much, sir. I'm paying homage to you. Please check out everybody else's channel. Subscribe to everybody here. Everybody support everybody's channel. And most of all, please go check out Roger in the mornings with his crew for morning coffee and drone talk.
That's a great show.
7 days a week. And I'm going to tell you right up, and I hope I get bleeped, or if I don't get bleeped, you'll laugh your ass off and you'll have a great time.
Bleep.
Absolutely.
Bleep.
So with that all being said, like I said, I want to give all those people shout outs and say I'm grateful for you all checking everything out. And the reason I called this to fly or not to fly. Okay. I took the Mavic Air to Waikiki Beach. I had everything perfect, went through customs, went through everything. Everything was charged and discharged the way it was supposed to be. I got over there. I charged my drone up. I checked on Kitty Hawk and I checked on AirMap. I was clean to fly where I was at. Okay, so I walked out and I'm looking around. And it so happens my hotel was probably about 250 feet from the beach. Or our apartment was about 250 feet from the beach. So I walk out there and I'm thinking, okay, and I'm looking, and I'm like, yes, it says I can take off, but I'm looking around and there's like probably 1,500, 2,000 people. So I'm like, no, I've got to be good. I've got to be good. So I'll go back inside and I put my drone away and I take my camera out and taking pictures and stuff. Okay, so the next day we're sitting on the beach. My wife's like, you know, because we're loving it, because our beach had kind of like this really cool seawall and stuff. And so there was families out there, and so we were just chilled out. And every time I'd get hot, as you can see, I was Deadthomas, the red-nosed drone pilot. But I would go out on the beach, kind of cool off, and then I'd come back in, sit down. Next thing I know, I'm kind of looking over to my left, and my wife's like jerking. She's like, hey, look. And there's a white Mavic Air sitting right above like 80 people over here, just like pointed down, looking at them, you know. And I'm like, oh, God, you know, because the cops are always stopping at the beach that we're at, you know. And I'm like, because the statue of the first king or whatever was like right there at the beach that we were at. And then the first surfer to make the first surfboard, that was the beach that we were at, you know. And that's why it's kind of like blocked off, so the waves weren't that bad. And then so I'm just flipping out, you know. Next thing you know, I see it take off. It goes up about 400 feet and just straight out in the bay. And I'm like, oh, you know. And so I'm sitting there, and the whole time I'm doing my usual crazy speculating, going, oh, I bet he lost signal. I bet it's gone. I bet it's, you know, because we couldn't see it anymore. And the next thing I know, you know, I was like, well, if it's coming back, it's going to come back anytime now, because, you know, I could figured it was already been about 10 or 11 minutes since I'd last seen it. So next thing I know, I just screaming in from the bay in sport mode. It just comes flying in. Stops, like I said, about 350 feet above me, and it just starts coming down. And then people are all starting literally to jump at it. And the guy's like, oh, God, what am I going to do? Because it's about to come down any second, because I know I had to be beeping. So he finally brings it over. He's like running up the sand, you know, trying to dig out, you know, get out of the sand. And he finally gets it up to the curb and gets it to land just as it's coming down and running out of gas. So, I was like, nah, I'm not getting it. So I wussed out. I just took a boatload of pictures. Y'all can hammer me for it. Yes, I know I should have done better. But that's what gave me the idea for tonight's show. I was going to have Ryan Duvall on. Congratulations, Ryan Duvall. Just want to say a big shout out to you. Check it, RD's reviews and stuff over there. I'll put a link up, you know, try to put up a link to as many people as we can. If you already know who they are and you're an admin, please drop them in the chat. He got Milestone, had like one video, had 100,000 views. And so he was going to come on and talk about that. And Something else I want to bring up, and Ron had pointed it out, is how Brian Singleton, Mr. TDR himself, who was on here a few weeks ago, is basically, I don't know, he's kind of taking the drone community on his back, because a lot of these other smaller channels were dependent upon companies like GearBest and Banggood and Tom Top and all that stuff to kind of get their review drones so that they could put stuff out there and can continually put out new videos. Well, they've kind of gotten a lot stricter on how they're giving out stuff like that. So Brian has been buying a lot of these drones out of his, own pocket and sending them to everybody so that they can keep putting out new videos. And y'all just, that's unreal. And he's not asking anything for it. He's not putting stuff up on his channel about it, but that's what this community is about. Besides every other's point of views or everybody else's beliefs, we all love drones, period. Some people their specialty may be in the editing area or something like that, but we all love drones and the release that we get from that. And that's why I came up with drone therapy, because it's all about letting the stress go. So that's like tonight, all this stuff, and okay, Bill, the drone reviewer.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to challenge you here tonight.
Okay, challenge. I'm up for it.
I want you to get out of your comfort zone.
Okay. And
I'd really like you to try to make like a cinematic video, something like you'd see Billy or Ken do.
Okay.
Just try.
I'm up for it.
Hey, I'm going to be the first one to admit I'm lazy when it comes to making a cinematic video or something, because I like making VFX and stuff like that. But I will do my best too. And I will try my best to get out of my backyard, because I remember one time before, Billy Guy was saying, dude, you got to get out of your backyard and get over that water. And to this day, I have still not flown over water, and that's on me. I know that. It's my excuse, and I need to get over my phobia. So what do you want to be challenged to, Ron? What do you think?
Well, I kind of have done it. I have done cinematic videos. I'm no Billy Kyle, but I've done cinematic videos. And to Bill H, if you need any help in the editing process of whatever, the color grading, whatever, I'll be more than give you my limited input into it. But yeah, I've done cinematic videos. I've done plenty of toy videos. In fact, some people probably don't even know I have DJI products, but I have done DJI products. So, I guess my challenge would be to do more vlogging, more B-roll of myself in the videos. In the past, I've mostly haven't appeared in the videos. They've mostly been just like, just the drone flying, or even the reviews. Like, I need to put myself more in the video. Better B-roll is my challenge, Bill.
Hey, we go.
Show me better B-roll in my videos.
I can see Mike talking in the chat. I have a cinematic intro. Does that count? Yeah, that's pretty funny. Want to go back into the chat again and say hey again to Nemo. I can see Idaho's talking again. Art, what's up, Art? Glad to have you, Art. Hey, what's going on? Raymond Millwood, good to see everybody. And like we're always saying every week, like we've already talked about the software. We talked about, wait a minute. Bill, don't you have some news about maybe potentially doing a toy drone review and not being the word we depend on so much, or the letters we depend on so much? DJI.
Yes, I do. I've received an offer, and I think Ron's got the same email, so we're both looking forward to getting this. I replied back, yes. And they actually did something very different. And Ron and I talked about this a little bit. They actually sent us exactly what they want us to do for a video, which I thought was very interesting, because anytime I've gotten an email, the one, the toy drone review that I did was in the JJRC, I think it was 47. It had a wand with it, like Ron's egg has. And the review I did on that, nothing was specific. Just get it out on YouTube, put a review out on Amazon, and that's basically it. That's all that they said. Well, this one actually came and detailed like 2 minutes of flight time, the review on Amazon. Make sure you put it on YouTube or on Facebook, and send me the URL. Was very specific with their instructions, which I thought was fantastic, because again, most of them don't do that. I mean, it's just like, here's the drone. Good luck. and put it out there, and that's it. And the only instructions I ever got were make sure that that's sitting at the top of your YouTube description. But other than that, that was it. But I thought that's fantastic, and I'm looking forward to getting that drone and getting it up in the air and getting a great review on it. Now, crossing my fingers, because I've felt like bad luck schleprock, because I've actually gotten 4 or 5 drones, and out of those 4 or 5 drones, I've only had one of them actually work. So
God love you there, Bill. I'm glad that you gave us the old Flintstones
bad luck schleprock.
For any of you young whippersnappers out there that don't understand, he was like a tiny Stone Age leprechaun that was always messing up, and he was friends with Fred. So, anyway, like I said, I wanted to go back into chat and say Roger's been doing a bang-up job from the Canadian Drone Network, keeping all the chat rolling and everything and talking in here. I can see Mike's talking, letting some stuff going on, and everybody's talking back and forth. Let's keep the support thing going on. And Ron, since Bill was talking that you all are you getting the same drone as him? And you had a plan for maybe what we should do with these drones that you all are getting for review here in the future?
Well, first of all, I got the email from one of her names was Jane, who about the Snaptane drone, and I even talked to Donnie. Donnie Hampton, big drone flyer 77, and go out and visit his YouTube channel. But he said it was a pretty good drone. But I don't think I responded to the woman's email as fast as Bill. I let it sit in my mailbox for a couple hours, and she hasn't got back to me yet, Bill H. So I may not be getting the Snaptane. So you may have to carry the ball there. But I mentioned in the pre-show earlier that some of these toy drones I get in, like I even forget the last one I got. When I get a toy drone in, I'll go ahead and review it, and then when I'm done with it, I'll send it on either to Bill Thomas or Bill H. And then when they're done with it, they can send it on to the other Bill. And when all 3 of us have had airtime with it, we can come on the show. We can kind of all talk about it and, do comparisons and, just kind of compare notes on it for the audience, which will be a more balanced review than just one of us reviewing it. So I think everybody agreed that would be a pretty good idea. But I want to do a special shout out here to my friend Marcus Crawford, formerly known as Idaho Sledhead. Now he's Idaho Drones. He's in the chat tonight. And this morning, I don't know if anybody knows, I posted this link to my group, both Bill's groups and a couple other groups. TomTop, a Chinese reseller, had the Spark on sale for $235 this morning. It was in a U.S. warehouse, it shipped from the U.S. and would arrive like in only 3 days. And it didn't come with a controller, though. It was just a drone. So most people just came back to me like my poor friend Perth West OZRC. You couldn't get that price in Australia. Apparently it was for U.S. only. And some people waited too long, was gone. But my buddy Idaho Drones, he jumped on it right away. He already ordered it. He's got it on the way. Then he went over to DJI and bought the controller for only $95. So he basically got a brand new Spark and a controller separately, and he only paid a little over $300 for the combo. So
I got to get the punchline in here. He got the controller on discount by using a select coupon.
He did. Hey, Bill Thomas, did that qualify as an accessory?
Yeah, exactly, man.
Hey, Bill Thomas, can you get somebody on here from DJI to define exactly what an accessory is?
Yeah, really.
Now the DJI controller is that the same control? Are all controllers created equally? Is that the same as the smart controller?
Apparently, we have to take this before the Equal Controller Opportunity Agency
Council. Yeah. We may have to get a veto on this.
Something tells me that even though if we all got a consensus, they still wouldn't give it to us.
So listen, how about this for an invite? When Marcus gets this $200 Spark in and this $100 controller, he's got to come on the show and show it to us and tell us if it works okay.
That's it. We challenge you, Marcus.
You're challenged
live on drone therapy. Oh, okay. Something else. we've had some strange, crazy. I've had some people asking me, and Kelly even brought it up before we went on the show that night. And he was like, "Y'all got so many names." Okay, here's the thing. I created the channel Coast to Coast Drones with an apostrophe saying, you know, multiple drones, because I had done some research and found that a company out in San Francisco had originally had the name Coast to Coast Drones. Okay, the company went belly up. Right when they liquidated their company assets, I created the channel Coast to Coast Drones on YouTube. Okay, well, I had been on for roughly 8 to 9 months. Okay, and a professional helicopter pilot in Texas who flies rescues and all that stuff came on as Coast to Coast Drones. Well, apparently he had done some research that the business itself had closed, so he jumped on the fact and created his company, Coast to Coast Drones. Well, where he was already a professional helicopter pilot, he was instantly 107 approved. So therefore, his drone business was already in place. So I've had some people ask me about that. So I just wanted to clarify that, yes, he is a 107 certified pilot because he's a rescue pilot, and that's why he is already a pro drone pilot. But I actually waited for the company to go defunct before I came up with my channel, and already had put up a lot of content before he even came online. So, you know, for what it may be, I don't care. He does great work. He does a lot of rescue work. I've seen some of his real estate stuff. It's really phenomenal. So if there's ever any confusion, like I said, he's the 107 pilot in Texas, and hopefully one day he'll be an inspiration and I'll be a 107 pilot myself. So I'm going to glance back over into the chat, and I'm going to see, heck yes, he committed and he's going to do that too. That's fantastic. And we've been bouncing around. We've got so many subjects going on. Sooner or later, we'll stop rambling, boys, but we're bucket list boys. But like I said, that's why I created Coast to Coast Drones. And then I kind of got hooked up with Dan, Drone Worship Samson, and Billy Kyle. We all kind of, this was back when Billy had what, 8, 10, maybe 10,000 subscribers. And then we hooked up, and we were doing the original drone therapy, because, you know, even though we all had different opinions of stuff, we realized that we all love drones, whether it be race drones, whether it be, you know, camera drones, whether it be using software to edit your photos, or, you know, manipulating software to get just the right video edit, or what kind of computer you might use. We all realized that it was just, you could be as stressed as you could be and go out and fly your drone and feel 110% better, just to be, you know, a release, therapeutic. So that's why I came up with the name Drone Therapy. And then we went through some evolutions, and some people came and went, and then we kind of got the new Rat Pack when I kind of introduced Ken Dono and Jack Kramer on. Please go check out their channels if you haven't already. You know, Ken's the original Dobo. We all know who Billy is, and Jack still does some things from time to time that are pretty cool. He does a lot of stuff on Facebook. So like I said, go check him out. And we were kind of brash, and them boys put some pep back in my step, and, you know, some stuff like that. And then we kind of went a different direction. And I kind of went back into my Grateful Dead mellow stage, my Deadthomas stage. And then I hooked up with Bill, and I hooked up with Ron. We all got to remembering about Saturday morning cartoons and camping trips with our families, and realized we had a lot of stuff in common, and that we all kind of had some goals left. And then we realized that we were talking about our bucket list. And I was just kind of reading the paper one day, and I said, well, we're just the bucket list boys. So this particular season of drone therapy, and it's always drone therapy, just happens to be the bucket list boys, because we're the hosts right now. So, you know, people are always trying to say, well, we're not out here to be the best drone show. We're not here to be the first drone show. We're just out here to try to connect with some people, talk about our love for drones. Anybody that needs any help, anybody that wants to come out and hang out with us and deliver a message, that's great. we're here to promote the hobby, the sport, the profession, and all that entails, and the positive side of it. You know, this is the what did I say? The positive drone movement. And I even made a t-shirt for it. Like I said before, it's one thing to get just rude on somebody's channel. And that's why I challenged everybody. And that's why I'm going to do something myself. I'm going to try to do better with my graphics, or, you know, try to do, you know, if somebody knows how to make a 6-year-old computer process the way it needs to make a better, you know, video in the long run. Because usually when I'm trying to make a good quality video, even in hit film, I have to pre-render everything, all, you know, every composite, everything. And that takes a long time. And then I have to pray for this computer, which is, I was telling the guys before we went on, it's probably about 6-8 years. Anybody wants to interrupt me if something's going on cool in the chat, just shut me up. It's very old. And I even mentioned to Ken Dono, come out here and help me build the new one, because it just takes a long time. I know that's not an excuse. I can still make shorter videos with maybe, you know, 30-second jingles. But yeah, we all need to try to do something a little different and listen more to our audience. But at the end of the day, everybody stay true to being a creator. Everybody make what makes you happy. Because at the end of the day, if you put something out that you think you're making just for your subscribers and you're not happy with it, it's going to eat you alive inside. Make yourself happy. Don't always depend on all these other channels that have made a living on telling you how to run your channel to get more subscribers. Stay true to you. I mean, if you don't like my opinion and you want to give me a frowny face or whatever, that's cool. But at the end of the day, make the content that makes you happy. Sooner or later, it's going to catch on. Sooner or later, people are going to follow you. Sooner or later, people are going to keep staying and the word's going to get out. Right now, we've got 17 people watching and listen to me blow off steam and talk about how great the drone community is. I've covered pretty much everything I want to cover, and I'm going to pass it to Ron Brown, Mr. Xeno Nation himself, for maybe a brief Xeno update, maybe some stuff from him that he might have to give us, and he can throw it around from there. Ron.
Bill, you know, very well said. You know, I couldn't agree with the things you said more. You said it with, you know, the right words with the right amount of passion, and I thank you for that, Bill. And I'm sure the people in the chat room appreciate it too. So, yes, relax for a second. It was great, though. I really did enjoy it. And before I move on to a Xeno update, I want to congratulate Bill H. We talked about step up his game, but he stepped up his game on his P4 unboxing when he did you know, kind of a little skit or whatever, like a little comedy skit. I mean, you kind of did the same thing for the Mavic 2, but that was almost like 6 months ago. So that's the type of thing I want to see a little more of. I really enjoyed you doing a little kind of a video with a little storyline, like a beginning, middle, and end. Guys don't know if you know Stuart Carroll. He's drone film guide. He's an amazing teacher of how to make cinematic video. I mean, we talked about some people do good cinematic video. Well, just watch Stuart Carroll's videos or whatever. He's a professional videographer, does weddings. But anyhow, he always says the most important thing is have a beginning, a middle, and end to your videos. Like, you know, just one continuous loop of a drone flying over a beautiful mountain isn't a true cinematic video. You need a beginning, a middle, and an end. So bear that in mind. But moving on to the Xeno update here. And I got my good friend Marcus in here, who actually does a better job of the Xeno reviews than I do. But we got I think last time we were on the show, we had just got all the big firmware updates. And the bottom line is they were mostly pretty good. And the Xeno's almost up to the level now that it should have been released at, where they include the flight controller where it doesn't dip to the left and rise to the right as much anymore. And the hops and drop is going on a non-windy day, but when it's windy, it still has trouble holding the takeoff altitude. And the camera's a little bit better, and it's just a great update overall. And you know, I encourage anybody that has a Xeno to do it. And you know how to get around the jumper issue and the controller. Remember we talked about have to put like they recommended to put you know, tweezers in there and put the pins together. Well, even Hudson doesn't recommend that anymore. But the QC guy, another great YouTube channel, the QC guy, he covers the Xeno very well. He just put tinfoil together to jump the two most left pins to do the update in the controller, and it worked perfectly. So check the QC guy's video out for how to update your your controller without bending the pins together. But anyhow, that's kind of the wrap up on the recent Xeno stuff. And I want to give another shout out to Marcus. He just put a video out. I think it's his latest video where he has the Osmo Pocket camera that Bill Thomas has, and he created a vlogging rig for it where he got a special adapter, I think from PNY, because he has already dropped his phone off the Pocket where you connect them and broke the screen, $300 repair. So he has a good grip for it too, and he has a way to put his mobile microphone on it. It's a real good setup. He's in there now. Marcus dropped the link to the video in the chat, but I'm sure Bill Thomas would be interested because he is the Pocket. I know he's talked about various accessories for us, so everybody take a look at it. But I'm going to finish up there. Let's Bill Thomas something now. I'm going to throw it back to Bill H. Unless you have something first, Bill Thomas. You're muted, Bill.
There we go. So the link that I just threw up in chat, and forgive me, the reason I was muted is we have a very active business phone. In case anyone didn't know, my wife, my busy little beautiful Filipino wife, she takes care of special people because our daughter, Erica, is a special lady. She has Down syndrome. I take care of Erica, and I help out my wife with her business taking care of the other special people in our home. So a lot of times when I can't get to doing stuff, I'm taking them to appointments or to meetings or to counselors, or I'm doing stuff with my daughter, or I'm doing stuff with my wife because we're really tied to this home, to this house. And I wouldn't give it up for anything. And my wife is my hero. Happy anniversary, baby. I love you with all my heart and soul. I am so happy I got to take you to Hawaii like we had wanted to do. And I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you for putting up with my crazy drone fetish. And like I said, I'm just happy to be here hanging out with all you guys in the chat. And the link that I posted was from one of my crazy FPV buddies, Nemo. And it's a very cinematic, very well done, very well produced just fly video about killing the drama and just getting out and flying. So yeah, just fly. And I see also that there's also the posting for the Osmo Pockets also in there. So please go check out that also. Please sub up to everyone that you haven't already subbed up. Please support everyone as much as you can. And please give positive input and warmth and love from your heart. And I'm going to pass it back over to Bill, the drone reviewer.
Bill Thomas, can I take it back just for a second because I see a link in the chat room. Claude put up a link to Kelly Shore's recent Xeno video. And it's a very controversial video among us Xeno owners. Idaho Sledhead probably has some thoughts on it too in there. And everything Kelly showed in the video, I love Kelly. And everything he showed in the video is correct. In high winds, the Xeno will drift around just like Kelly showed in the video. So I'm not saying he did anything wrong, but he made a 15, 20-minute video where he flew the drone at 4 feet off the ground the whole video. The Xeno flies much better at, say, 100 feet in the air than it does 4 feet off the ground. So, I mean, he basically spent a video showing what it did the worst. If for one brief minute in the video, he took it up and got some footage of the highway, and the thing looked great. It was smooth, studied video. The video looked great. And if you want to, if you're trying to prove the Xeno isn't any good by taking out in high wind and flying it about 4 or 5 feet off the ground, it's going to look like a bad drone. But, if he would have just taken it up 50 feet in the air and flew it better, it doesn't lose altitude if you take it up high. So just a little disclaimer, Marcus can back me up in the chat room here. So anybody that thinks Kelly's video, it was accurate, but again, he takes a video and he shows what it does at its worst. But look at Bill Thomas's great photo of Diamond Head that he hiked up a mountain to get.
Actually, no, I didn't hike up a mountain. We drove the Jeep that we rented up there because one of the major highways to where you could get to the highest peak was closed. So this was a secondary one that I had found, and we traveled on GPS. And
Bill, it was more exciting. It was more exciting when I said you hiked up the mountain. You ruined the drama.
No, I wasn't. Wait. Now. I don't want you to think that, because I actually hiked up Diamond Head, which was the volcano that I showed you.
Okay.
And so when I did that, I took pictures like this. So where you saw the peak of Diamond Head, that's where I went to take like stuff like this. So yeah, we had a blast. My wife and my daughter, my little teeny tiny 4'2" tiny little 22-year-old daughter, hiked almost to the top, and I drugged my wife along with her, except for about the last 85 steps to the top of the mountain to where you can take pictures like this. And there were so many people at the top that they wouldn't, you had to beg somebody, say, can I please take like 10 pictures and I'll let you have your spot back. And then you have to like walk like this over to the other section and see, oh, well, that looks like, excuse me, sir, could I stand there and just take maybe 20 pictures, and then I'll let you go right back. And basically what it was the top of the mountain had room enough safely for probably about 40 people. And there was probably 150, 200 people up there. You know, stuff, concrete barriers that they are, supports that they had set up, that big letters spray painted, keep off, you know, people on top of them taking pictures. And I was just like, okay, I'm done. So I went down and met my wife, and when we went all back down the hill, and you got back down to the very bottom, and they had fresh coconuts that they like chopped off the top and put a big straw in it, and you could just like almost frozen inside. And then the other thing they had that we bought one of each was a big pineapple that they like took the whole meat of the pineapple out, ground it up and made it into a smoothie, poured it back into the pineapple with slices of fresh pineapple and mango, and phenomenal mango like you wouldn't believe. And then it was, we drank that and went back to the beach, and let's move. Let me see. Let me look through here. I had produced something that I wanted to share with you all. I know it's going to be kind of rough because I tried to do it so fast, and I thought you all would get a kick out of it. Oh, come on, my ancient computer. I've got so much stuff running. It's like, no, don't force me here. I'm going to freeze up. Let's see. Pineapple Express. Okay. Bill, anything you want to throw at us? Are you doing?
Yes, I do. I want to thank Ron for that nice shout out about that video. And I have to give my wife an awful lot of credit for that. She was the one that she came up with the idea. We executed it. She filmed it. It went flawlessly. And the same thing with the unboxing zone for the Mavic 2 Pro. Those were absolutely two fantastic videos, and I give her a lot of kudos for that. She did great. I could not ask more. Fantastic filming of that. And just as a side note, I have my very first Phantom 4 Pro V 2.0 first flight video coming out. It should be coming out probably sometime after the broadcast tonight. It's uploading, and it's a first for Bill the Drone Reviewer. I uploaded it in 4K. All right. It's taken almost an hour and a half. So, you know, every time I hear Ken or Billy talking about the pain of uploading 4K, I can feel their pain a lot right now. It's just taking forever. But I'm real excited about it. And just to let everybody know the kind of deal where I found it. I know Steve Carpenter said he's been trying to find one and he couldn't find one anywhere. I actually, through some tips, Mitch, old guy in a drone, he told me to go out to one of the forums. I was out there. I didn't have much luck. Went out to an RC forum. Didn't have much luck there. But actually found it on eBay. And it was a retired helicopter pilot who, if anybody needs to buy DJI drones, he's selling them left and right. He doesn't. It's the only Phantom 4 that he had, but it had 2 hours of flight time on it, and I got it for $1,100, and it looks brand new, like it just came out of the box, and it has DJI Care Refresh through September, and I can renew it. So I could not be happier with it, and it was just absolutely fantastic. Also, kind of want to give a shout out, and I know Marcus has talked about them as well. Drone Seekers. They actually were watching my live stream last night and commented, and I went out there and I liked their channel. You guys need to check them out. They're a lot like they espouse the same kind of virtues as Mr. Bill Thomas. You know, being out there, being drone friendly, and they're worldwide. I know they're based in the UK, but they have people over in Spain. Marcus is a member. He's here in the United States. They're all over. They're small, but they're growing, and you guys need to check them out. They're called Drone Seekers. I think that would be something that we all need to embrace. We all, let's enjoy this, and let's make it, stop any kind of animosity or bitterness or jealousy, and just say, you know what? Let's just fly drones. Let's have a great time. Let's shoot our videos. Okay. Let's give tips to each other. Let's help each other out. And I absolutely love what they're talking about, what Bill was talking about with Brian Singleton, just, giving drones away, here, you go test this. And he's spending his own money. He's not tooting his horn about it. Those are the kind of people I absolutely positively love. And the other thing is, I want to give a special message to absolutely everyone. I read a story about a very unfortunate accident last week in Georgia, where a man who had a drone that was stuck in a tree near a power line went to try to retrieve that, and unfortunately, he lost his life. He was electrocuted. So, and my message to everybody is this: a drone is not worth it, guys. Go file an insurance claim. Go call your power company. Go call local law enforcement. Tell them about it, because it'll probably be a nuisance and somebody would try to get it done and an accident would happen. There's a family that's mourning because of that. And, my strong advice to you, you get a drone that's stuck, don't try to be a hero. Get some help, get some professional help, people that know what they're doing, especially if it's near a power line. I don't want to ever hear another story like that again. That just cut me to the core. I don't like seeing that. And, and I do accept that challenge, Bill. I'm looking forward to going out there and doing a good cinematic video. Got some great examples from Original Dobo, from Billy Kyle, and others out there. And I'm gonna take that to task. I'm gonna be spending some time adjusting the gimbal settings on the Phantom 4 Pro V2.0 to make it look cinematic. So I'm gonna be spending some time with that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get out this weekend and do some more flying. And with that, I'll turn it back to Mr. Bill.
All right, and I thank you very much for that. Hey, maybe even while you're fiddling around with those gimbal settings, you can take a few notes and make a tutorial of Bill the Drone Reviewer settings for optimal use of the Phantom 4 V2.0.
I like that idea.
Bill Thomas, before we move on, can I ask Bill H a quick question?
Sure, Ron. Go right ahead.
Bill, I don't want to get into too big in the show here and turn this into a DJI show, but I know you've only had a few days, but quick comparison between the Mavic 2 Pro and the Phantom 4 V2 Pro.
Well, I can say right off the top of the bat, without spoiling a lot of my first video, the control sticks, okay? The responsiveness, Ron, is just insane. And I give kudos to Mel, because the first time I flew a Phantom 4 Pro was his when he was visiting down here in Apollo Beach, and he taught me about pinching the sticks. And you really need to pinch the sticks, because if you don't, you're going to be doing more than you want to do with it. It is that responsive. The Mavic 2 Pro sticks, they aren't as responsive. I mean, they're still responsive, but the lag, there is no lag with these sticks. They are spot on, dead on, accurate. And that's one of the big things that impresses me already with that. It's just, and also the one thing that I found very interesting were the sensors on it. I think the sensitivity on the sensors is a lot more sensitive on the Phantom 4 Pro V2.0 than on the Mavic 2 Pro.
That's very interesting, Bill. And this isn't the space to do it, but maybe on a special show, or maybe just on Bill Drone Review show. I'd love to get into you on the Mavic 2 Pro and the Phantom 4 V2. I'd like to get into it in some depth, and maybe you can talk me into what should I upgrade first. Should I upgrade the Mavic Air 1 Classic to the Mavic 2, or should I upgrade the Phantom 4 to the Phantom 4 Pro V2? I'd like to get into a big discussion on that sometime, maybe again on a Bill the Drone Review show, or maybe even a special episode.
Absolutely.
Would you be up for that, Bill?
I sure would, Ron. That would be fantastic.
And maybe after a few more weeks where you've had some more hands-on time.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm going to be doing comparison videos too with it. So, yeah, this is going to be fantastic.
Okay, so maybe we could both be challenged to do that'll be something different for both of us, right?
Absolutely.
Kind of a long-term discussion. Really get to the nuts and bolts and not just the overview, to really dig in, and people come in the chat with detailed questions where you can really answer a particular question, like
absolutely,
like you just said about the sticks and whatever. Okay, well that's a challenge to both of us to do a great discussion of these two great drones. So, okay, now we're going to throw it back to Bill Thomas now that the DJI portion of the show is over, so people can come back from their bathroom break now.
So we're bathroom too now when we start talking about DJI. like for me, when we go to Grateful Dead show, and trust me, I went to many of them, and no, none of them were blurry. Yes, I had a lot of fun, but sometimes I went and I was completely straight. So. But yeah, we would have what they would call bathroom tunes when you would go to the bathroom because you're like, no, this isn't one of my favorites. So, but something else I wanted to bring up, something a new person that I have introduced to Mr. Bill, the drone reviewer. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Curtis Dart, who happens to be someone I've hooked up as of recently. We've been chatting back and forth on Facebook, and actually Bill's talked to him a little bit more than that. But he's got a thing going called the Drone Owners Network. They're running probably, I think, like 19 different Facebook groups with the people he's all hooked up with. And they've started putting out a live show on Saturdays called the Drone Owners Network Live. And I'm here to tell you, it looks like something you'd see on TV. And then I was talking to him the other day, and he was like, well, I know we flubbed up here, and I know we flubbed up there. And I was like, dude, my jaw hit the floor. I was like, and you're giving yourself that hard of a time for the first show? And see, that's the kind of passion that I'm talking about. Here I am as a fan telling him, your first show blew me away. I have not seen any drone show on the internet that compares to their first show anywhere. And I love Ken Herron. I love seeing Billy Kyle and Ken Dono there with their chemistry, but I ain't never seen a drone show like this. Drone U, whatever. And Bill, before I finish up with my little rollouts of this little Hawaii stuff, I'm gonna throw it back to you. And Ron, I hope you've had a chance to see it too. What do you all think of the Drone Owners Network Live? Bill.
I absolutely love it, Bill. It looks like a professional, like in the studio, like on NBC. I mean, it's just so well done. And Curtis's voice, I found out, he's been in radio. His voice is just perfect. It is just spot on, perfect for this. His timing is fantastic. I mean, he has a producer. He has somebody telling him in his ear what he should do. And they're going to be getting, he told me last night, they're going to be getting things. It's that switcher, and I forget the name of it. A button, it's a box that you push, we're going to roll this video. We're going to roll that clip. We're going to look at this picture, kind of a thing.
Well, here's
this intro. Yeah.
Last night, his producer director was not there.
Oh, I know. He said there was a producer, but there wasn't.
He was ripping himself, and I was like, dude, man, you want to step up my game, because I mean, I was like, that's another thing I wanted to bring up, was we're kind of like like I said a million times, we're like the place that the rockers want to come hang out and blow off some steam after a big show, drink a few beers, get the love of the patrons, and they play till dawn. Anything like this, just where somebody famous wants to go hang out to just be one of everybody else. and not be, expected to give out autographs or to perform, or it's just they can be whoever they want to be. Kind of like we're like the Bill Murray of the drone set, or like Gary was telling me, like Nemo was telling me, I kind of like the Johnny Carson. We don't want to be political. We don't want to be, picking sides. We just want to be supportive. That's something else. Roger has been. I had already talked to Roger. I want to talk to you guys too, and see if we can't work out. Let's try to have Roger on live with us next week and push more and throw a bit about how we're all more big. Roger from the Roger from the Canadian Drone Network. Would you please like to join us next week? Let's see. So what? 5:30 Eastern? No, excuse me. 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. And what do you think, guys? What do y'all think of that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd love to have Roger on. I'm pleading with him right now.
Pleading with him right now. Oh, I see Brian made it in. Brian, we were talking about you earlier, just saying about all the positive stuff you do to help out the community and stuff, and we're glad to have you.
Brian had a tough day at work. He was napping.
Oh, he was napping. Well, that's cool. That's perfectly fine. Let's see. Well, like I said, I don't know how good it. Let me get it loaded up and see if it'll play for me. All right, let's see. I have a feeling I'm going to end up squabbling with my neighbors. So, see, I have. It's kind of strange. I've sent in pictures to the local parking enforcement with our community, and I have shown how our paratransit bus, when they come to pick up our people, have an issue because we live at the end of a cul-de-sac. Well, the people next door, they park perpendicular to the cul-de-sac instead of parallel, the best parallel to the curb. So they cut off like a half to a quarter of the circle. So it's very difficult for the big, large handicapped bus to get to the handicapped people to take them to their activities. Okay, I've sent in pictures upon pictures upon pictures showing this. Almost a year, the city has done nothing. Nothing, okay? And now the people who live next to them, their grandchildren set up a portable basketball goal in front of my home and continually bounce their ball into my yard, smash it up against my bushes, my fences, my Jeep, my van. Nothing. We've just said, please stay out of our yard. Nothing. So, with that being said, before I go into the Hawaii stuff, what would you all do if you were me, man? And I mean, and I've got all these pictures showing how they've continually done this stuff, and I'm just like, at my wit's end. I don't understand why people are this way. So, oh, Roger's committed, sweet. So I mean, I just don't understand why they can't understand. All I'm saying is, all I ask you to do is obey the law. And just you respect my property and I'll respect yours. But for some strange reason, they think that even though they rent theirs, that they can use mine. So I don't get it. Okay, mini rant over. Sorry. Anybody else want to add anything before I do our fun, festive Hawaiian share?
Go for it, Bill.
All right. And with that being said, we were going to have Mr. Roger come on with us next week from the Canadian Drone Network, and please join us here. We will kind of give you some updates throughout the week. Please check out Mr. Bill the Drone Reviewer's channel. Please check out Mr. Ron Brown. The links should be in the description. And everybody has some Facebook groups. I have Coast to Coast Drones. Ron has RC World. Bill has Bill the Drone Reviewer, as well as multiple other groups that you can link through Mr. Bill the Drone Reviewer's channel. Please go check all them out. Please go check out all the Facebook groups involving drones and film and cinema. And I'm going to stop jabbering here in a minute. I'm going to give you the end of our train ride on the Dole Plantation. So, oh, nope, wrong one. It was an edit, and I missed it. Sooner or later, I'm going to get it. There it is. All right. And I thank you folks very much for joining us. With this, I'll say adieu. As we near the
the train station off to the play, you'll see our photovoltaic solar farm, which helps provide nearly a third of Gold Plantation's energy consumption. Just another way we benefit from our nearly year-round sunshine. Well, we hope you enjoyed the tour. There's a lot more to see and do here at Gold Plantation. Test your directional skills in the world's largest maze. Stroll through the plantation garden, or cool down with the world-famous Dole Whip inside the Gold Plantation store. If you plan on making your way to the North Shore, turn right as you exit the parking lot and head north on Kamehameha Highway for about 10 minutes. Besides having some of the world's best beaches, you'll also find dozens of unique shops, art galleries, and restaurants. Mahalo for taking a tour on the Pineapple Express. See you again soon. Aloha.
Misty rain will fall, sun will blow and shine. Go and let your body soak it in. The weather brings you down, close your eyes and cry. You'll find your happiness again. Just let it all make loose. Don't worry about the news. Keep your head up high and let it fly. Let your feet play in the sand. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Watch your child start to laugh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No more trouble from the past. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Time flies by, we move too fast. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Live on the live aloha. Just live aloha. No place in this world could ever keep the peace. You're feeling flowing from the start.
Mahalo, everybody. See you next week.